So Zohran Mamdani was on The View, and I know that so many of you wanted me to cover this, but I have to tell you, this has been one of the most difficult videos that I had to make in some time because of all the word salad. I mean, usually, I'm going to try to elaborate on this. What is going on with this review? Usually, you have like sound bites, right? Because, at least in, how YouTube works, we don't want to be have problems with copyright, with productions like The View or any other interview. So we usually I usually manage to analyze 15-second, 20-second sound bites from interviews. But in so many of the questions that these ladies asked Sora Mamdani, it was like 1 or 2 minutes of nothingness, of word salad. It's not even worth even playing the clips. I'm going to play some clips. But again, this is going to be a bit, let's say, painful, precisely because there's so much word salad in there, and the common denominator is that he's trying to evade every single question no matter what. So if you wanna too long didn't read or too long didn't watch, that is basically the summary of what you're about to watch. If you're brave, if you want to do this with me, so let's spend the next 10 minutes on this.
He says that he'll withhold, this really is something. Trump says that he will withhold federal funding for New York City if you win.
I commented that on another video that Trump already assumes that Mamdani is going to win. So he says that, I'm going to withhold the federal funding from him. And again, the answer in this case is so long and convoluted, and he doesn't really address that. And he claims it to be illegal. Well, illegal is for sanctuary cities to exist in itself. Again, I would love to show you the entire thing. So let's see if we can learn from manipulation. But it's not even. It is only word salad avoiding to answer the actual questions. There's another clip here.
So Zohran, back in 2020, you called for defunding the police, something you've since walked back. You also called the NYPD racist, anti-queer, and a threat to public safety in 2020, but now agree they deserve an apology. You initially refused to denounce highly charged rhetoric related to Israel, then later said you would discourage its use.
So now, to this question, he was like 3 minutes of him saying a lot of stuff of what is going on. He almost sheds a tear for George Floyd, if that makes sense in the context of this. And he said they has been talking to, directly to police officers who couldn't get their holidays right, or their free days, days off right. A lot of the stuff that I said, how can I make sense of this? And I realized, you know what? I can't. I cannot. It's 3 minutes of word salad. I am not going to torture you with this. But I'm just going to tell you that he is using the word salad, and yes, I'm going to say it, the charisma to win this stuff. And it's so bad. It's so bad in so many ways. This one, I think these two clips I can show you when he's talking about Israel and Hamas. I'm going to make put a note on this.
You've made inflammatory statements like calling Israel an apartheid state and questioning its right to exist as a Jewish state. Just this week, you were evasive with a reporter about condemning Hamas.
So this is, there's an intermission, and that's what he answers.
And so to be very, very clear, of course I condemn Hamas. Of course I've called October 7th what it was, which is a horrific war crime. And of course, my belief in a universality in international law is also the same set of beliefs that have led me to describe what's happening in Gaza as a genocide.
By the way, he continues adding a lot of word salad to this question. He addresses most of the topics of the question, but he never addresses Israel's right to exist. He makes sure make sure to not say that on his answer. And he also frames the rest of his answer as in Israel against the Palestinians and not basically a two-sided conflict. That is important. Even if he says that he condemns Hamas and he sees October 7 as a war crime, but at the same time he says that there's a war crime trying to fight a war crime. Again, make of that what you will, and make it what is the sense that New York has such a huge Jewish community, and how many of those Jews are voting for Zohran Mamdani. I have no idea. I just have an observation regarding that. You can vote for whoever you want. I said that about Kamala Harris back in the day, but you're a Jewish and you vote for Sora Mamdani, or don't care at all if Sora Mamdani becomes mayor of New York City, or don't get involved in the thing to prevent that. Again, I can't believe I'm rooting for Andrew Cuomo in this, but well, here we are. You're going to regret this massively. I mean, I'm just a messenger. This is the most that I can do. Because no, I'm not playing these clips. These clips are pure brain rot. These clips will literally rot your brain. Go ahead and watch it if you want. If you want my word for it, if my reputation as a commentator and as an analyst serves as anything, I'm telling you that this is a big mistake. All right? Maybe watching the interviews is going to be a big mistake as well, a waste of time. I'm trying to save you. I'm doing my best to save you a ton of time, but it is what it is. I'm telling you what's going to happen to New York City if this guy becomes mayor. You will not be able to stop it unless for some reason this guy is not elected. When asked why he thinks members of his own party have been hesitant to embrace him, Mamdani tells The View, "I wouldn't be sitting here with you if it wasn't endorsements what made all the difference. It was the people of the city." You know this. These clips are a bit shorter, more specific, so we can play this one.
Even members of your own party, like Leader Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, both New Yorkers, have been reluctant to endorse you. Kamala Harris gave what I would call sort of a tepid endorsement. Why do you think members of your own party have been hesitant to embrace you at this juncture?
The governor of New York, though, endorsed you.
She did. And what I would say is that Donald Trump is going through the stages of grief.
He is say that Donald Trump is through the stages of grief, and right now it's acceptance. That post that he did about Mamdani a couple days ago, was acceptance. Okay, even if this guy wins, I will not give him federal money. That doesn't look good. It's like assuming that he's going to win.
But also the fact that I wouldn't be sitting here with you if it was endorsements that made all the difference. It was the people of the city.
The people of the city. And yes, this at least when it comes to the polls, that you can believe them or not, at your own risk, it seems that the guy is 80% odds that he's going to be the next mayor of New York City. But then the question about Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer is repeated. I think that is it was nice. It was nice for that question to be repeated.
Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are trying to win the midterms, win back the House and the Senate for Democrats. So why specifically do you think they're hesitant to endorse you?
Again, I was surprised that this question was asked a second time. That is actual journalism, if we can call this.
No, I can't speak to their thoughts and their interest in this. What I can tell you, however, is that what we have built in this city is also an indication of what politics can be. Oftentimes after the November...
Yeah, then he goes on this tirade. I'm going to jump in, and the second part of this, he's talking about the younger generation, and he has focused on the younger generation. And I don't know what's going on with the younger New Yorkers, but this is
what
bad.
if we asked them what they needed in the city? We made the top 3 highest performing age groups all under the age of 35. That's something that we haven't seen in the city before. That needs to be at the heart of our politics across the country.
That's why that smile is winning. I'm gonna say it is what it is. That guy is going to be the next mayor of New York City for many reasons, and sadly, people get sometimes get mad at the old politics, so to speak, and they said, "Oh, we need something fresh," but then the fresh is basically Hugo Chavez. Trump is attacking you as a communist. Are you? This were interesting clips.
One, he's attacking you as a communist. Are you?
No, I'm a democratic socialist. That means I believe in dignity for all people.
So at that point, there's this clapping from the audience, clap and applause, whatever. And then there's another remark.
You're not a communist. I agree with that.
No, I'm not a communist. And I think, a lot of New Yorkers have asked me, what does it mean that you're a democratic socialist?
Yeah.
And I tell them...
And yeah, what does it mean? Because you're going to answer something that makes no sense, but here it goes.
To think about the words of Dr. King from decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's the heart of it.
Yeah, there has to be, the better distribution of wealth. That is pretty much communism. Because I think that everybody should have the opportunity to create their own wealth and not to distribute the wealth among everyone. But that's me. I'm pretty much a capitalist. Maybe you don't agree with me. So many people, I'm sure, that agree with me, but they are socialists at heart. It has happened to me so many times in Venezuela, but I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Remember that this is my Power Pundit channel where I talk about politics specifically, so make sure that you like and subscribe. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.